Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am today speaking on behalf of my CMD, as Madam said. The whole focus today in my talk for the 15 minutes would be around the emerging technologies what the government sector is looking for. And at the same time, I would like to combine this with the private sector. Let us see what could be done. See, emerging technologies to create new markets. If you just try to go through, I will say the case story of ITI itself is over the years. It is able to adopt to the emerging technologies and to create new markets. And today, in spite of, I'll just give you this thing of it, is the one where we have created ourselves, like what she said, to sustain ourselves into what we are today with the order book position of almost 20,000 crores. So just let me give a brief as to what we are. She has already told you, but still I would like to say that as first public sector in the country, started in 1948, we just completed 70 years of our foundation day. We were the leaders in telecommunication, having established the entire network, telecom network of the Indian, which fostered the Indian economy right from 1950 till 1992, when the liberalization took place. We developed our own products, looking at the new markets, the switches, the telecommunication systems, transmission systems, and even the terminal products from telephones to the various types of other things. So all these were able to be developed, manufactured, and put into the Indian market. And this is what the sustained growth was there till 1992. And as she said that we were the one, probably at that time if they had given a Maharatna or Navaratna, as we were talking to Sridhar, ITI would have been the only company which would have had that Navaratna tag. But unfortunately, where we missed the bus was, as we have seen the today's trend is, that with the liberalization, we forgot where was the emerging technologies that are coming in and where was our market. We missed the bus. And when we missed the bus, the company went down, slided down. We are not able to tackle with this one. Even though we went in for partnership with a lot of the foreign companies who had the technology, we are not able to compete with the other markets, other players who are in the market to give a competitive equipment. So the technology was there, but we are not able to take the technology into this one. This led to a situation where the network eroded. When the network eroded, then we had to go back to the government to say that, yes, come, let us help. We will try to come back again. And government was good enough to look at that telecom sector is a vital sector for the country. When you compare to agriculture, everything, what was the whole priority that is given, telecom also is one sector which today they are realizing what it is. The other day I was in NITI Aayog for this thing on how that GDP growth of the country is related to the emerging technologies that are coming in. So what is the investment that is required in what sector? So the government, if you see the statistics, it says that the investment in the emerging technologies as a part of development in India compared to the GDP is 0.6%. Whereas in countries like South Korea itself is 4.3%, and in America it's 2.8%, China is 3.2%. Then where we stand today? So the government in the NITI Aayog planning took the views of the public sector as well as the private sector, as well as the academia, and today they are looking at getting these emerging technologies so that my GDP would be, the technology investment versus GDP would be coming to about 2.2 by 2020. So this is what the government is looking at, the entire sector, both public as well as private sector, to see how we can invest and also bring out the new markets in the emerging technologies. So in that aspect, the government came up with a lot of support for the public sector because they found telecom sector is a vital sector which will be the one which will become the harbinger for the GDP growth, which you are seeing today. Okay? How many mobile phones are coming? How many new technologies are coming in? So the country's GDP growth is related to it. And so therefore they supported the ITI as a whole. And then after 16 years of continuous losses, last year the company has come out from the ashes like a phoenix or whatever we call it. And we were able to achieve the first time a profit from our investors for a turnover of 1,700 crores, about 100 crores profit. And how this has come is the case study of what I told you as a case study. But let's leave it. But today what we are trying to do is we are trying to concentrate on the emerging technologies and how to go. Now, what are the emerging technologies, or what are the sectors in which we try to look at it? The company also went into from the manufacturing, where we are not have the technology, to see that how best I could do for the networking space. The networking space became very vital because government was implementing number of projects that were required to be done to see that the emerging technologies reach the common man, or the common this one. So one of the important project was the BharatNet project of our Prime Minister, where they wanted to take the broadband connectivity to 1 lakh villages by 2017, 18 January. ITI has partnered with it to bring the Prime Minister's vision to reality by extending this 1 lakh, we call it as GP Lit. And today they are given as a task by this 2019 January, another 1.5 lakh villages will have to be lit. Now, it is not just a question of lighting or accessing the broadband to the connectivity. It is also looking at how to extend it further to small villages where it is coming through the radio modems and Wi-Fi. So these are the technologies which may be there already, but these are in large scale required to meet the country's requirement. This is one network. The second one is the NFS, okay? Network for Spectrum, which is being given out by our ministry to the defense sector. Now in that also, ITI has emerged as the leading network planner, designer, executor, and we have established the most prestigious ASCON network, which is the Army's static switch communication network throughout the entire border area of the thing to secure the country. So what is emerging is, if you just look at it, not just making a network, it is also securing the network from an adversary. So ITI is able to emerge as one of the leading players in developing the technologies to secure the communication network. Now, in that, as Madam has brought out, is that the government has brought out the draft telecommunication, digital telecommunication policy. Like when Sau started, digital is what the thing is. So government has brought out the draft digital communication policy, if you have gone through, is what is going to look for the next 3 years, what is going to come into the Indian network. There, security is playing a very important role. Because today, every mobile phone you are using may be a security threat. From which country it is coming, anyway, I don't want to make in the gathering. Probably all of you will be aware of it. So therefore, the government has brought a policy that from January 1st onwards, every telecom equipment, every telecom element coming into the Indian network or Indian market has to be certified for its security. So can you imagine how many mobile phones are getting into the market? And who is going to test that for security and this one? So the government is looking for number of test labs, security test labs, which should come up to see that how best you can come in. I'm talking of only one mobile phone. But when I'm talking of the other things, routers, then even in the thing, today we are talking of, when you talk of a mobile phone, it may be causing me this thing when I speak on the phone. What is the rate of the dispersion of the wavelength and the frequency at which it is coming? Is it affecting me? Yes. Probably most of you don't know. If you just could put an app on it, it will tell you what is this rate of emission from your mobile phone. And what is the value? Is it exceeding? You will find that 50% of your phones exceeds the rate of emission. It is affecting thing. So now you have to have what is called a specific absorption rate laboratories to come up, which will be able to check the security as well as the complete rate of radiation from the mobile phones to come in. Okay. Now, therefore, the telecom testing has come to a big thing based on what is the government policy that's going to come in. Leaving aside these things, if I come to this one, of course, when I had given my CV, she left out. After I came out of ITI, left out of ITI, I was in the government sector, okay, and looking after some of the, this thing under a secured, this one called National Technical Research Organization. Now looking at that, the security plays an important role in all the emerging technologies that are coming in, okay. Sir Subakov, the automation AI, okay. So today, data learning and whatever we talked of, now today what is important is data mining and data analytics. How these data mining, data analytics are going to work. And let's say develop an algorithm and how the algorithm can work, yes, coming. But what is to be done? So much huge data, whatever Google takes or whatever Facebook takes from the data, okay, how much is required to analyze? And how the security is coming in that. Today we are talking of. So now, how to get into that? In that, we try to identify that the emerging technologies are in the field of telecom, automotive, and pharmaceutical. This is what I said is what was emerged in the Niti Aayog meeting, where the growth of GDP is linked to this. So telecom sector is the one which is going to come in. Now, what are the emerging technologies in the telecom sector? To tell you the fact, India missed the bus in the technologies in the area of 2G, 3G, and 4G. We were completely dependent on the technology that is coming from abroad. That's why today we are looking at where is the security for my technologies that are coming in. So today, the Prime Minister has given a thing that we should not miss the bus. And the aim of this thing is that by 2021, Prime Minister would like to, or Indian government would like to announce to the world that we are the first one to roll out 5G by 2021. Okay. Now, that is the emerging technology, but who is going to do it? How is going to do it? That is to be Indian, and that should be secured. Okay? So today there is a lot of academia that is coming in. Investment has been done to bring out our own 5G technology and also the radio side of it to come in. So which will be the future that one will be looking of E-Node Bs, your radio modems, and then the radios which will work in millimetric wave, or what we are looking for as the emerging technologies in the newer market, in the telecom sector. Now next comes the whatever we are talking of, the IoT, IIoT, and Industry 4.0 or Industrial Revolution. Now the government has come out with the smart cities, this one. So everything has to become smart. So when it has to become smart, there are a lot of gadgets, a lot of things that are coming into the market in the name of Internet of Things. And probably today, if you have read the paper, it says that IoT will now become iOS. It's not Internet of Things, it's going to be Internet of Services. So how the services are going to emerge, then we will have to have the new technologies that are coming in. Today we have the smart meters, smart energy meters. Today we have the smart post box. In fact, ITI is, with CDAC, we have developed a smart post box. You need not wait to post your speed post or your this thing for the post office to open. Like a kiosk, it will be there. You will just drop your letter box into that. It will weigh and tell you. Then through the gateway, you pay your money, and it will take in to send it by speed post. Even at midnight, you can send your speed post. So smart post box, smart energy meters. Then for the smart cities, we are also putting, AI is coming in to link all these things into a cloud and make it a knock center. But vital to all these things is the sensors. So immediately, how many sensors you require and what type of sensors you require. So this is an emerging field in which IoT requires a lot of sensors, this thing in that. Perhaps I was Just a month back, I was in Taiwan to attend a Taiwan electronics meet, Titronics, because as we have brought out, we are trying to see that how to monetize assets. IT has got a lot of assets on which it's sitting. We want to create an electronic manufacturing hub. We want to create in that a startup hub, and to bring out the emerging technologies with the government thing, we want to set up a R&D incubation center. I welcome all of you. Please look at it. This is a government initiative. You can join us in the hub. If you want to manufacture, we provide you. And Bangalore is an area where it is not so easy for anybody to get this thing of it. Okay. So, now, lastly, to just make a this thing of it, what is the market driver today in the emerging technologies? So, from my this one perspective, I would like to add, apart from what Sahu said as IoT and Industry 4.0, and also what Nipu brought out, is the quantum computing, quantum technology. So future of your computing, whether it's AI, everything gets into quantum computing. And and all the things that will get secured is by quantum computing, because nobody can break quantum. Today we have supercomputer. I can break my adversary's code. But if quantum computing is used, it will. So this is the emerging technology, and the race is between, as Sahu brought out, between China and USA. But the entire knowledge source for all these things to America is going from India. Maybe especially from Bangalore. I would love to say that. Okay? So maybe Sridharan would like to elaborate more on that. So what is the emerging technology for the newer market, from my perspective, would be quantum technology. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you, organizers, for giving me the time to speak.